Listen, I'm an absolute disaster when it comes to organization. By the time we pull into camp after a hard day wheeling, the inside of my Jeep is an absolute disaster, like a bomb went off. And I think to myself, Brad, how'd you let it get this bad? And quite honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'm a child, but my drone is behind the back seat. I can't find my car keys, but I know they're in here because the car's still running and it doesn't say fob left the vehicle. My wife is covered in things, whether it be snacks, water bottles, camera equipment, you name it. It's on her lap somehow. And it's just not a good look for us. And quite honestly, when you're going down the trail and things are bouncing everywhere, things are falling off your dash and you're reaching for them, it's a kind of a safety issue as well. So we're gonna start fixing this problem today. And the first thing we're gonna do is get our dashboard organized. I think that's a great starting point for us. We have a couple ideas, but today we're gonna look at how we can get all of our accessories and things like that in a secure location. And I think the way we're gonna do that was with the Anvil Overland Dash Bar kit. They were super gracious to send this out to us to test and provide feedback to them to let them know what we thought. There's a couple unique features here that aren't offered on some of the other ones out there. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but I want to show you what we get in the package before we head out to the Jeep to get this installed. And it is a super easy install. I promise you can do it with some basic tools. We'll cover all that here in a minute, so stick with me. First thing you're gonna pull out of the package is a aluminum powder coated with a UV resistant powder coat, so it's not gonna fade in the sunlight, dash bar. This is gonna span the entire length of your dashboard, and that's gonna be awesome. That's a lot of real estate to take advantage of, to hang whatever you want off of here. Really, your imagination is your greatest limiting factor, but you can hang your cell phones, GoPros, camera equipment, a tablet, maybe your Garmin InReach Mini or anything like that that you want to get up off the dashboard onto a secure location so it doesn't go bounce around on the trail. This is going to allow you to do that with plenty of room to space this out and make everything super user friendly and ergonomic, if you will. So you get your aluminum dash bar. So after your dash bar, you're going to link them to the installation pins, and I'll show you those here in a second, with these elbows. These are all really nicely machined, no rough edges, no sharp edges. They're powder coated, all the same, stainless steel hardware. Everything in this kit is aluminum, and it is powder coated with that same UV resistant powder coat, stainless steel hardware. You can't go wrong. You're gonna love this stuff. There's no sharp edges, no burrs or anything like that. A lot of attention to detail went into all these parts, and it really shows, and I think it's gonna be a really nice fit and finish once we get it into the Jeep. So you get your two elbows. Right after your two elbows, you get your center clamp, and this is gonna give you some rigidity and strength to your dash bar, and that may not make sense now, but I will show you in a second when we install this thing how that works. You've got your main installation pins. These are going to replace the 10mm bolts that are under the grab handles in the front of your Jeep JT or JL. You'll take those 10mm bolts out, you'll take that plastic cover out, and you're gonna screw these in. So I bet you're looking at these and go, well, how am I gonna screw them in? They thought of that too, and they did it in a really genius way, I think. I don't know if you can tell, hopefully you can see it in the light, but there is a machined out notch out here that fits perfectly for a 1/4 inch socket. It just slides right in there, and now you're gonna be able to torque that down nice and tight. I recommend a little bit of Loctite, just because there's a lot of vibration and heat and things like that that happen that could start working these things out, potentially. Probably not, but I like to err on the side of caution. So anyway, you install those. There's two of them, driver's side, passenger side. They're not labeled. They can go either way. And now you can start decorating your dash bar, because at this point it's probably all installed. So we have our all aluminum cell phone holder, really nice, spring loaded. Even the balls on these things are aluminum and powder coated. So they are going to hold up really nicely, stainless steel hardware. And what these mount into is their own brackets. So the ball will mount in here, and this side will mount to your dash bar. What I like about this setup is that we don't have these long arms extending off of the dash bar itself and kind of holding things up. That adds some strength, right? If we're thinking mechanical advantage, the further we get away and the heavier the object is, the more that it's gonna move and need to be adjusted. So I think because this is smoothly powder coated and these clamps are also smooth, but it's so close to the bar that we don't have that issue of things pivoting and moving. Once you clamp them down, they're gonna stay put. They're gonna stay really nice and rigid. Some of the other designs out there on the market that require those longer arms, they're powder coated with a textured powder coat for a reason. That's to add some more grip so they don't move around on you. You don't have that here. If you're ever wondering why there's a difference in finishes, that's probably the reason. That's what I came up with. That seems logical to me. So we get a couple of those, right? So we can mount whatever we want to. This one is mounted with a GoPro mount. I already kind of put it together. You could see how it works. Hopefully you can make that out here. But the GoPro mount is something else you can get from them. And it is all aluminum. All of this is all aluminum with stainless steel hardware. There's no plastic parts on here. Subtle branding. I don't know if you can see that, but it says Anvil Overland with the shape of an anvil. But that's just going to clamp right onto your bar, and then you torque it down, and this will stay in whatever location you want it to. 360 degrees of movement. I've been playing with this thing, and it's not scratching the ball all up, which just leads me to believe that it's high quality powder coat, and it's going to hold up a long time after years and years of abuse and UV rays and dirt and sand and dust and whatever. It's going to be really nice. And the other thing that we have is a portable radio mount. And I already have a Jeep Unique portable radio mount on the passenger side, so this one's gonna live on the driver's side. That's gonna be awesome. So when I get out of the rig, I don't have to reach across, grab that portable radio. That one can be reserved for the passenger. So I'll have one on my side as well. It almost looks like a Jeep grill, probably by design. And again, we have that subtle branding. On the side here, we have 3 different mounting holes where you can decide where you want to mount this ball. So it fits whatever vehicle setup you want to go for, whatever fits your needs. Endless possibilities of customization here, and I really enjoy that. Tools wise, super easy, right? You need a 4mm Allen key. You need either a flathead screwdriver or a trim removal tool so you can pop the plastic off, and a 10mm socket and a 1/4" socket to get all these things installed nice and snug. It also comes with some pretty thorough instructions here, and every little piece that comes with it comes with its own instructions, so you can kind of see what's going on. You don't quite honestly even need these. You can put this together just by looking at it. I assure you that you are fully capable of this installation. Stick with me after the install though. We're going to talk about our final thoughts. We're going to talk about what we feel about this kit, and we're also going to talk about some changes that maybe we made, some pros and cons, so you don't want to miss that. So just like what we talked about, we're going to use our trim removal tool to pop this plastic piece off. You almost don't even need it. Kind of do it with your fingernail if you have them. And then if you just pull out this retaining strap, she's got a little barb on the end. You can pull that right out real easy, nothing broke. You can retain that if you want to go back to stock. All right, so underneath here is a 10mm bolt. We got to take that out. Easy peasy. Now the bolt's out, we're gonna go ahead and insert our first pin on the driver's side. It's gonna be real easy. We're just gonna torque it down with that machined groove on the end with a 1/4" socket. You don't want to over tighten it, but just snug it up so it won't come out on you. And it shouldn't spin with the way the dash bar is set up, so it should stay exactly where it is. We're gonna go ahead and repeat the process on the passenger side. We have loosely attached our elbows to the end of our dash bar. We're resting the driver's side on the steering column. We're going to loosen up just a hair the elbow down here so we can press it onto the pin that we just installed. Press it nice and firmly and torque that down. We're gonna go down to the driver's side and install that side. And we're gonna loosen this up a little bit. We kept that side a little loose too so we can make some adjustments. We're just gonna press it onto this pin here and then we'll torque up both sides with our 4mm Allen key. So it'll pop and a press so you know it's on there nice and secure. Take your Allen key, torque that thing down. All right, so let's talk about this center bracket here for a second. Arguably one of the most important parts of this whole setup. So the center bracket is gonna add some rigidity to the bar to make sure that it is supported in the center here and that any weight you put on here is gonna be evenly distributed across your dash. What's cool about it is they even thought ahead to put a little rubber foot on here. So that's gonna sit right on your dashboard really nice. You have your subtle branding here on the side, all aluminum, all powder coated and anodized stainless steel hardware. They even went so far as to countersink the hardware on top. So it's gonna sit nice and flush and out of the way there. So this is gonna go dead center. And basically what it's gonna do is clamp down like this. Let's get this in place. Start our hardware. Then we can finally tune where we wanna put it. So it's not driving you nuts, that it's not super dead center. But I think right dead center of the screen is gonna be good for me. All right, make sure that's all squared away. And then you're gonna take your 4mm Allen key and just tighten it down. All right, with that installed now, this bar is super rigid. So anything you put on here is going to stay exactly where you want it to be. It's not gonna bounce around and get all crazy on the trail for you. So far, this is coming along really nicely. Like I said, super easy to install, anybody can do it. All right, so the only thing left to do now is install all the accessory mounts that we have, and I'm gonna spend a couple minutes here finally tuning and tweaking my setup to get a nice comfortable dash bar configuration. Now this may change over time as I use it and decide I want things different places, but I'm gonna go ahead and install these and then I'll walk you through the decision process that I had as to why things are where they are. The install is super easy, super quick. I'm sure that I'll tweak the setup and add things to the dash bar as I use it, as my needs grow, and as I develop the way that I want to keep my system organized here. So let me show you what I got going on here. All right, so here we go. This would essentially be the driver's side. This would be my view, kind of what you're getting. So this is my eye level. Over here, we decided to put a portable radio mount. It is the Anvil Overland one, which kind of tweaked it a little bit over towards the driver's side. The door still shuts. That's not going anywhere. It's going to stay nice and secure there. So these little grooves here allow the back side of the radio, that little tongue there, to kind of lock in. See if I can do it one-handed. Some positive engagement. So on the trail, that's not going to go anywhere. And then coming over more towards the passenger side, we got the cell phone mount. Like I said, that thing is nice and rugged. A lot of tension there. That's not going anywhere. That's really nicely on there. And then it's falling over. We got the GoPro mount over here. And I'm going to add a couple things down towards the passenger side, like a cell phone mount for my wife, and also a DSLR mount and microphone mount, so I can mount this camera right to the dash bar as well, be able to do some things from there. But that's the current setup that we have going on. And you kind of see how low it sits to the dash. You can also see how that centerpiece kind of supports everything. And like I said, this is not going anywhere. Nice and rigid, high quality. I'm excited about this. All right, so we're back in the studio. Had a couple days to mess around with the Anvil Overland Dash Bar. And I'm really digging it, really liking the usability of it. So let's talk about a few things, right? There's a couple things that I've been thinking about and kind of mulling over as I've been testing this thing and putting it through its paces. So the first thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, and I'm no engineer, right? I tend to overbuild things and think that things need to be stronger than they actually need to be. And this may be a non-issue. Feel free to argue with me down in the comments below or tell me that I'm being silly. But the only thing that I was thinking about is the installation pins that thread into the 10mm bolt holes at the bottom of those grab handles. I was just looking for some positive engagement between the lip and the installation pin, other than friction. It would be nice if there was a groove or a lip on those pins. So my concern is that if I load this dash bar up with weight, whether it be a tablet, a Garmin Mini InReach, a couple portable radios, my cell phone, a GoPro, maybe my DSLR, and I'm going over some large bumps, maybe I'm bouncing off the bump stops, I'm coming off of a ledge or something like that. What I don't want is a jolting action to pull the dash bar off of those installation pins and this thing ends up in my lap. That's my biggest concern, and maybe a non-issue. That's literally the only thing that I would change out of this entire design. I love the fact that I have so much real estate, the entire dashboard, to hang things off of. Now, I don't want to clutter this thing up and make it look like it's Back to the Future in a DeLorean. I have all these little buttons and gadgets and lights and things distracting me from driving that I forget I'm even on the trail and now I'm off a cliff and dead. I don't want all that. I just want a few things up there, but I want to be able to space them out so they're usable. I just want to be able to not be confined to a little area and use this thing how I want to use it. And this setup really lets me do that. The other thing that I failed to mention at the beginning, and I think is pretty important, is that everything is 6061 aircraft aluminum. It's lightweight, it's super strong, it's going to hold up to different weather environments, it's going to hold up to different corrosion factors. It's all anodized and powder coated with stainless steel hardware. So really this thing is well thought out and designed to be able to withstand anything we might throw at it. Some of the other things that I wanted to mention is the different variety of mounts that you can mount on this dash bar. They have all kinds of things, whether it be Garmin Mini InReaches or ham radio, CV radio, microphone mounts, things like that. I mean, your imagination really is your limiting factor. And if you go on their website, you can scroll through pages and pages and pages of different types of ball mounts they have. They even have blank ones so you can mount whatever you want on there, whether it be switch pods or anything like that. So you can design this entire dashboard setup to be a really user-friendly off-roading environment for yourself. And I think that's pretty cool. And I also think it's really cool that they come in matching colors to whatever color you ordered your dash bar in. So if you want to do matching or contrasting colors, you have that option, whether it be black, orange, red, or blue. So that's pretty cool, and that makes it unique and personal to you. A lot of the other ones that I've seen just come in black. So something to think about, some options to weigh out there. There's also a different style. So if you don't like the fact that it expands the entire dashboard, or maybe you don't like the fact that it bolts into the lower grab handles, they also have one that bolts into the cubby on top of your JL or JT. So definitely head down in the description, check out the link, head over to the website and take a look. I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised with the variety of options that you have to customize this to make it really fit your needs and your style. All right, so we're kind of at the point where we ask that $1 million question, or should I say, in this case, the $130 question. If this product wasn't graciously provided to me by Larry from Anvil Overland to test, evaluate, and give feedback to him as to what my thoughts are, would I spend my own money on this? I think that I would. I think that it is a great option for people that want to organize their dashboard, spread things out between the driver and the passenger because you have plenty of real estate there, but you also want a slim, kind of tucked down look. And I just think that this is going to fit the bill for a lot of people, myself included. There's plenty of options out there, but I would give this one a really, really close look. All right, so that's it. I hope you got some value out of that, answered some questions for you, showed you a different option out there for some dashboard organization, and definitely on your way down to the description to check out that link, hit that subscription button for me. That would be fantastic. And don't forget to find us over on Instagram. We have some great content over there as well, some short form stuff that I think you're really gonna dig. But thanks for tagging along, and I can't wait to see you guys on the trail.